Welcome to CC Writes. My name is Cece Lefke, and today I am sad and angry and helpless, and I don't really feel like doing anything. With the current state of things, I know a lot of people feel very much the same way that I do. So instead of my usual writing exercises, I thought I would share some of what I'm feeling and also my favorite method of coping with it, expressive writing therapy. If you want to skip ahead to the part where I share different expressive writing therapy exercises, then I'll put the timestamps on the screen. For a little bit of background, there's this thing that happens during extreme events such as the possible outbreak of a war, out-of-control wildfires, a global pandemic, murder hornets, and race riots. It's called disaster trauma. It comes with symptoms like sadness, depression, confusion or brain fog, hyperactivity, irritability, the feeling of numbness, and things like that. Basically, it's everything that most of us have been feeling since about March. To be honest, I've managed to escape most of these feelings because the pandemic hasn't really affected me all that much. I haven't had any family members die, my husband and I still have our jobs, and I actually genuinely enjoy being home with my husband all the time. But then, a couple days ago, this really horrible thing happened. A man named George Floyd was murdered, and my heart broke. With what happened to Mr. Floyd, to his family, to his community, to us as a nation, I have been beside myself for days. The helplessness I feel is because I realize how little impact I actually have on the world at large. I have all of 10 YouTube subscribers and a mediocre at best Twitter following. I work in the nonprofit industry, but I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not an activist or an advocate. I am a shy, 30-year-old woman child who plays pretend in her imagined worlds all day. The only thing that I'm really good at is writing. And then it hit me. I work as a grant writer at a behavioral health organization. For the past year, I've been trying to convince my organization to include expressive writing therapy as one of their evidence-based practices. I've studied everything that I possibly can about expressive writing therapy, how it works, and how it can be used within an organization. Again, I'm not a therapist, but I have been trained in psychological first aid. There's very little I can do about the way the world works or to change it so that things like what happened with Mr. Floyd won't happen again. The only thing that I really know how to do is to use words to provide a little bit of comfort. So today, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms of disaster trauma, or even if you're just feeling a little down and unmotivated, then please follow along as I share a couple of expressive writing therapy exercises. And hopefully together we can find a little bit of comfort during these difficult times. So, expressive writing therapy is a type of art therapy that uses guided writing exercises to help you fully experience and understand what you feel, why you feel it, and how you can cope with it. It uses a lot of different types of writing to help you express yourself without any sort of judgment. And it does it in a safe and healthy way. Expressive writing therapy is great for a lot of reasons. So it typically works faster to get to the core of what you're experiencing than talk therapy. the technical aspects of writing a journal entry, a poem, a story, or any genre of writing, it can actually help alter the way you perceive your own experiences. And in addition to a treatment for mental illness, it's also a really great coping mechanism. I could honestly go on and on about how great expressive writing therapy is and how all community mental health centers should add it in as part of their practice. But instead, I'm just going to go over a few of my favorite expressive writing therapy exercises that you can use at home. The 15-minute journaling exercise is one that everyone should do at least a couple of times a day. If you do it 2 hours before you go to bed, it can actually help you sleep better. So to do this exercise, you just need to find a nice, comfortable space where you can write, and take along a notebook or tablet or whatever device that you want to use to write with. Keep in mind that you don't have to share any of your writing with anyone. This is something that you're just doing for you. You can destroy your writing or delete it or whatever you need to do after you're done. This is all about making you feel safe and comfortable. It's not something that you have to share. So then all you have to do is take 15 minutes and just vent. Talk about absolutely whatever is on your mind at the time. Get it all out. Everything that you're feeling, everything that you're worried about, put it all out there on the page, and whatever words that work for you. Make sure to talk about why you feel the way that you do and really dig deep into those emotions so you can get as close to the core of it as you possibly can. Sometimes I even save a little bit of time at the end of my writing session to reflect on what I learned about what I'm feeling and about myself as a person. And I even take time to set goals for myself to help me cope better in the future whenever I'm going through something difficult. However you use that time, just be sure that when you are finished writing, when you close your notebook, you leave those feelings aside. This can be really difficult to begin with, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Just write out everything that you're feeling and set it aside so that you can have a clear mind when you're moving on to whatever task you need to do next. It's also good to keep in mind that you need to do this exercise every single day, not just when you're feeling bad. And I would even suggest doing it 2 or 3 times a day. It's always a good idea to take the time to rejoice in the happy moments that you have as well. Next up is guided writing prompts. Guided writing prompts are also a great exercise to help you overcome the negative emotions that you experience and to help you rejoice in the positive ones. There are a lot of prompt types you can use, but most of them focus on expressing your bad feelings and remembering your good feelings. I'll post a link to a site where you can download a list of different kinds of prompts for free. And if it helps, these kind of prompts are also things that you can use in your 15-minute journaling exercises if you can't think of where to start as you're writing with those. The thing that I love most about the guided writing prompts is how great it is to get you to the point where you're exploring deeply into one emotion, to really dig down deep and understand yourself in an intimate way. Whereas with the journaling exercise, it's very much stream of consciousness. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're worried about, you'll go off on whatever tangent you find. With guided writing prompts, it really helps you drill in on a specific topic of what's worrying me and why, or what makes me feel good and why does it make me feel good. Another really great thing about the writing prompts is that you don't necessarily have to use it for writing if writing isn't your thing. If you like to express yourself through drawing or through photography, you can use those same prompts to explore the feelings that you have through visual art as well. So it's really just a very flexible type of exercise that you can use, and it isn't something that has to be specific to writing. The technical aspects of writing are also really important for expressive writing therapy. As I mentioned before, the technical part of writing can be used to examine your feelings through a new lens. For this reason, it's really important that you learn how to write. You don't have to be perfect or even good, but learning the science behind writing and then practicing it as you explore your own feelings is both cathartic and enlightening. To help you out with this, I will also post some of my favorite writing resources that I use to help practice my own writing. You can also explore my channel for different writing tips and tricks, or there are also several writing masterclasses that you can find available on YouTube. Either way, I highly recommend learning about plot, structure, style, and the various principles of writing in general. Even if you want to do just one genre, if you want to do only poetry, then learn everything that you can about using iambic pentameter or rounds or limerick or any other style of poetry that you can find. Whatever you use, just practice it over and over again, and even take some of the writing prompts that you can find and use that as a way to explore how you feel about things. I really hope that you find all of these exercises useful. You can find more similar exercises at positivepsychology.com. I'll post a link so that you can find it more easily and get more information about expressive writing therapy if you'd like. If you're currently experiencing depression, suicidal thoughts, or any of the other symptoms of disaster trauma, then I want you to know that there is help available for you. Please reach out to talk to somebody. Please reach out to talk to somebody, because there are plenty of us here who would love to help you. You can reach out to a local community health center, to a church, to an ER or a health center. You can reach out to a local community mental health center, to a church, to an emergency room or health center, or even to a local or national crisis hotline. Remember that your concerns are important, and we will do everything we can to help get you the services and support that you need during this time. If you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts or thinking about harming yourself in any way, then please contact the National Crisis Hotline on the screen or go directly to an emergency room. I'll also post the number for the National Crisis Hotline down in the description below. I want you to know that I care about you and what you're going through. More than anything, I want our leaders to step up and start bringing about change for the Black communities who are mourning the loss of yet another person that didn't need to die. This is our nation, together as one, and what hurts one community hurts us all, whether we're willing to recognize it or not. I don't just want justice for George Floyd. I want justice for every Black person who has ever had to fear for their safety for even a moment in their lives. You deserve better, and I'm sorry. Today, I'm not going to ask you to support my work or boost my ratings in any way. If you're feeling philanthropic, then please consider making a donation to your local community mental health center, an urban league, or a civil rights organization. Right now, they need your support a lot more than I do. Thank you, as always, for joining me today on CC Writes. I'll see you later.